Welcome learners, this is our second session on government media organizations, and in this session we are going to deal with a few more government media agencies like the Field Publicity, the Photo Division, Research and Referral Division, Song and Drama Division, Directorate of Film Festivals, Film Division, Censor Board, National Film Archives, National Film Development Corporation, Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Film and Technology Institute of India, Pune, Children Film Society, State Public Relations Department. I am sure all of you would not be very well versed with all these government departments. Precisely the point we brought this in the form of a unit, and we thought it is important for all the learners to be aware of what the various media organizations are and how do they function, how do they operate, what is their system of management, and what is the basic role that they play in the entire gamut of media organizations that belongs to the government. So here we go. Let us first begin with the Field Publicity. The Field Publicity Department was set up way back in 1953. It initially had 32 Field Publicity Units and it was managed by 4 regional offices. In order to cover a country like India, which is so diverse in terms of culture, language, the customs and everything, it is important that the government media organizations, which are basically the functioning with the primary objective of bringing forth information from the government to the common people, it is important that they be able to transfer the information, they be able to communicate with various diverse groups of people, heterogeneous groups and diverse cultures and customs and rituals and social norms. So what we require is that one department has to have certain number of field units, certain number of divisions which operate in different part of the country and are clubbed with people who can speak in their common language. It was designed under the program of 5-year Plan Publicity Organization. Earlier we used to have 5-year plans, and those used to be the development plans of the country, according to which the country would take up their development issues and propel towards the certain sectors in a certain manner with a certain kind of support in terms of money, infrastructure, resources, etc. So these 5-year plans was the reason why Field Publicity came into being. The ministry had a direct control over the concerned offices. The Ministry of Information and Broadcasting had a direct control on Field Publicity as well. Later, the Directorate of Field Publicity was appointed to supervise and handle the operations of the regional offices and the publicity units. The Directorate of Field Publicity is engaged in publicizing important programs and policies of the government through 207 Field Publicity Units, which is in control and supervision of 22 regional offices. So the entire Directorate of Field Publicity is cut across the country in the form of 207 Field Publicity Units and 22 regional offices in different parts of India. It carries out routine and special awareness campaigns on various programs and policies of the ministries and departments of the union government. Now, this can pertain to various issues like, say for example, the use of plastic money instead of the currency notes, the various hygienic factors that must be borne in mind all the time if we are dealing with viral diseases like COVID-19. Polio drops and the administration of polio drops, education and the kind of level of education we expect at primary level, at secondary level and so on. And now with the coming of the new education policies, what are the kind of changes we are looking at, especially in the schools and colleges in the rural areas. So this routine and special awareness campaign and the related implementation of the schemes is looked into by this Directorate of Field Publicity, and it does the same for various departments and of the union government. It is not only limited to health or education, it also extends to finance and public transport and tax systems, etc. It is responsible for disseminating information, generating awareness, and altering the attitudes of people towards the government's plans and policies. Now, say for example, people earlier were more used to carrying cash. Now we are slowly coming to terms with digital use of money and digital wallets and so on and so forth. So now the attitudinal change that has to be brought about, which is not so much of a problem amongst the educated class of the country, but certainly a problem to deal with when we talk about the rural belts who are less educated and are confronted with the vices of using digital money or digital wallets or digital systems of use in general at large. So ideally you don't just have to disseminate information, you also have to generate awareness, and you also have to bring about an attitude of acceptance amongst the people at large, so that the government's plans and policies don't fall flat, and together as a country we're able to propel ourselves forward. So the Directorate of Field Publicity functions at 3 tiers. So there's this 3-tier system that operates. The first tier is the main headquarters, which is situated in Delhi. Then you have the regional offices, and then of course the field publicity units. Earlier I said there are 207 in number. So there are field publicity units which are based in various parts of any region. So all these 3 tiers act cohesively in order to propagate information. Now let us look at photo division. Photo division is an independent body, and it is a subordinate office under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. It is the biggest production unit in the field of photography. The division is responsible for documenting and organizing photos for internal and external publicity. Photo division is important in documenting the process of social and economic transformations. When we talk about documentation, be it in terms of writing, articles, texts, documenting history, be it in terms of documenting any kind of event which is of historical importance, anything like that gets documented much better in the form of, these days of course, films and videos, the audiovisual medium, and earlier through still photographs. So photo division was important in documenting the entire process of social and economic transformations. It is also responsible for managing the archival data in the form of old photographs. It also provides the ministry with important visual information for dissemination and promotion of schemes and policies of the government. External division, DAVP and PIB get the major publicity support and services provided by the photo division. Now why is this so? Because when we talk of DAVP, whose basic function is to come up with advertisements from the government and autonomous bodies and take them over to the people. They also look into the visual publicity factor. And then we have Press Information Bureau, which largely deals with the media of the country. It is important that the photo division backs it, supports it. PIB also gets a routine photo coverage of the internal VIP activities for day-to-day publicity of the press through its website. So most of the times, most ministries have to show what they're doing on a daily basis, especially all the VIP activities. So this is done basically with the help of photo division, and they display these photographs and the daily activities on their website. Now let us look at research and reference division. The Research and Reference Division provides high quality research and reference services to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and its media units for planning media policies, for strategizing, for campaigning, and ensuring effectiveness in the use of mass communication, and to develop human resources of these media units to be at par with the best in the world. So like whenever in my previous sessions I've spoken about campaign planning, I've spoken about advertising, event management, and what are the various application based sectors of mass communication. Everywhere it has emerged that research is very important. So also for journalism, so also for film production, so also for ad making, so on and so forth. So similarly, in order to support the various wings, media wings of the government, the research and reference division is of prime importance. It also produces packaged information for the media persons and media researchers and scholars. So for all those who are looking for researching academically in media, this is one source of information. Set up in the year 1945, the division functions as information serving unit for the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and various media units under it. The division studies trends in mass communication and media and maintains reference and documentation service on it. The division compiles 2 annual reference works, India, Bharat in Hindi, and reference annual and authentic work of the development and progress made by the central ministries and departments of state or union territories and mass media in India. So basically the idea is to bring about all the developments that have taken place, all the important documents, be brought about together through the research and reference wing of the government. The division has a well-stocked library which has a large collection of documents on various subjects pertaining to different themes. The library was earlier housed in Shastri Bhavan and has now been shifted to Suchna Bhavan, which belongs to the Ministry of INB. The National Documentation Center on Mass Communication was created in 1976 as part of the division on the recommendation of an expert committee set up by the ministry. Now we look at the Song and Drama Division. The Song and Drama Division was established way back in 1954. A unit of All India Radio, it was made an independent organization in 1960 under the Ministry of INB. It presents cultural, historical, social development and national programs. At present, it has 8 regional and 9 substations. Its headquarters is in Delhi. It has 10 regional centers situated in Bangalore, Bhopal, Chandigarh, Chennai, Delhi, Guwahati, Kolkata, Lucknow, Pune and Ranchi. There are 12 sub-centers which are located in Jodhpur, Jammu, Guwahati, Imphal, Darbhanga, which is Bihar, Shimla, Nainital, Bhubaneswar, Hyderabad, Patna, Pune and Chennai. They are all responsible for developing programs for publicity on various government-related schemes. The Directorate of Film Festival. The Directorate of Film Festivals was established in 1973. So this is a latest addition into the government wings. Its role was to organize international and national film festivals within the country. It's also responsible for facilitating India's participation in international film festivals and events. It is also responsible for organizing cultural exchange programs in the field of cinema to promote modern approaches in Indian filmmaking. Apart from that, it has the following responsibilities. 1. The National Film Awards and the Dada Saheb Phalke Award, and who should it be given to? The selection of the Indian panorama. Indian panorama basically is the collection of films, the collection of documentaries, short films, etc., which brings about a wider picture of the country, which depicts the wider picture of the country and is sent forth to various competition and events and to the award ceremonies as well. Participation in international film festivals abroad and special film expositions on behalf of the Government of India. Films Division. Now you will find all of them slightly related, but there is less overlap in their work. The Film Division produces documentaries, news magazines, animation films from its headquarters in Mumbai. Its outlying units are at New Delhi, Calcutta and Bangalore. Film Institute of India makes an inspection of the films made. Different events and competitions are organized, and it also provides economic help to film industry. So whenever there are people who require monetary help or help of other kinds, Film Division can be approached for that. Film division caters to nearly 8,500 cinema theatres all over the country and the non-theatrical circuits such as the units of DAVP. The distribution wing of this division controls 10 branch offices situated in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Lucknow, Madurai, Mumbai, Nagpur, Thiruvananthapuram and Vijayawada. The publishing wing has been publishing Documentary Today, a quarterly magazine dedicated to a short film genre from 2007 till date. Central Board for Film Certification. In India, films are released when a certification is provided by the Central Film Censor Board. Its head office is situated in Mumbai, and the Center Board comprises of 9 members and a president who are appointed by the government. The advisory committee consists of educationists, journalists, lawyers, writers, and social workers. The CBFC was set up as per the 1952 Cinematograph Act. The 9 regional offices are located at Bangalore, Kolkata, Chennai, Cuttack, Guwahati, Hyderabad, Mumbai, New Delhi and Thiruvananthapuram. They are responsible for examining films on different themes by the advisory panel. Prasoon Joshi is currently heading the CBFC. National Film Archives. The National Film Archives of India came into existence in February 1964 in Pune. The main objectives why this was formed were to trace, acquire and preserve for posterity the heritage of Indian cinema, to classify and document data and undertake research related to films, to act as a center for the dissemination of film culture. Its headquarters are in Pune, Maharashtra. It has 3 regional offices at Bangalore, Calcutta and Thiruvananthapuram. Its responsibility is the preservation and promotion of films to promote and safeguard the Indian culture. Its library has around 25 active members throughout the country. It organizes screening programs on weekly, fortnightly and monthly basis in 6 important centers. Now we come to the National Film Development Corporation. The National Film Development Corporation, the NFDC for short, was set up in 1975 by the Government of India with the primary objective of planning and promoting an organized, efficient and integrated development of the Indian film industry. NFDC was reincorporated in the year 1980 by merging the Film Finance Corporation, the FFC, and the Indian Motion Picture Export Corporation with NFDC. So that explains the formation of NFDC. The erstwhile FFC was set up in the year 1964 with the primary objective of extending finance to young talented filmmakers for film production, whereas the IIMPEC was set up to regulate the import and export of films and canalization of raw stock in the country. The corporation has its corporate office at Worli, Mumbai, along with 3 regional offices situated at Chennai, Kolkata and Delhi, and a branch office at Thiruvananthapuram. Now we come to the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, which was registered as a society under the Societies Registration Act 1860 and came into existence on August 17, 1965. It began with a modest staff strength including 2 consultants from UNESCO and organizing training courses mainly for the Central Information Service officers. Today, it also conducts postgraduate diploma courses in print journalism, radio and TV, as well as advertising and public relations. Film and TV Institute was set up in 1960 under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting in Pune. It is governed by the Governing Council headed by the Chairman of FTII. The institute consists of 2 wings, the film wing and the TV wing, and offers courses in both film and television. The diploma courses are offered in film direction, cinematography, audiography, film, editing, acting, direction and production design. So all aspects pertaining to films, its production, its direction and acting, as well as television and its various aspects are covered through the courses which are run by FTII in Pune. Then we also have a Children's Film Society. The Children's Film Society was established in 1955 to provide value-based entertainment to children through the medium of films. And we'd all agree that film is indeed a very special and relevant, pertinent, important medium of communicating with children. CFSI is engaged in production, acquisition and promotion of children's films. Head office is in Mumbai with branch offices in New Delhi and Chennai. The mission of CFSI is to facilitate promotion of children's films by encouraging, strengthening and spreading the children's film movement all over the country and abroad. The next bit is the State Public Relation Organization. So far we've been looking at departments which were a one-point department, probably with regional offices and local units. But now we're looking at the state government's PR organization. All states have public relation departments. These are called the Directorate of Public Relations, or in some states they're called the Department of Public Relations. The basic idea of having a public relation department is to disseminate information, like we have various units at the center to do that. For every state we have the public relations department to look into the same kind of activities, propagating policies, bringing about behavioral change, running campaigns and keeping people informed and making them supportive of the government policies. In some states, it is also called as Department of Information and Broadcast. The main job of this department is to communicate with the masses and maintain public relations activities. In some states, it also comes under the Department of Tourism. The state public relation organizations are involved in running different kinds of programs and campaigns and act as a bridge between people and the government. When we were discussing the functions of public relations, we were talking about how public relations department for any organization plays the management role, helps in building the image of an organization, and also communicates to different publics in the way, and the various stakeholders in the way that they should be communicated to. And it also brings about various kinds of campaigns with different kind of objectives. So similar is the nature of the public relations department in the various states of the country. So this too acts as a bridge between people and government, takes back feedback of the people on different policies, on various rules that have been made back to the government, and brings about amendments accordingly. Now, they too work in us, and of course, tourism for every state in India is a very important deal, be it Rajasthan, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir, whichever state you talk about. So every state has its own unique selling proposition in terms of tourism, and wherever tourism runs high, it brings in a lot of revenue. So in some states, even the public relations department also looks after the Department of Tourism, which is a high revenue earner for a number of states. Then they also work in association with DAVP, the Directorate of Audio and Visual Publicity, and other agencies of media to promote and disseminate information to the people. So ideally, at the state level, the basic wing that we have, basic media and information wing that we have is the Public Relations Department, and it looks into various kinds of cross functions that any government may have to do with its people. In terms of revenue generation, in terms of employment, in terms of health services, in terms of getting feedback on various policies, on various campaigns, running campaigns to bring about behavioral changes, so on and so forth. So all the functions of not only public relations, but also working as the channels of communication between the government and people, and accordingly accommodating all the other functions, the secondary functions as well. So this is the job of the Public Relations Department in any state. With that, I have given you a holistic view of what government media organizations look like and how many of them are there and how do they function and operate. And I hope you found these 2 sessions beneficial and you will gain enough information out of them. Thank you for joining us, and we'll meet you again. Thank you.